Hey everybody, welcome back to another day of sessions here in the VMTN Tech Talks area with vBrownBag, I guess is the full technical name of it, because they couldn't do a longer sign. I guess they told them 2 lines only, and that was as much as they could fill it. So we're here again for the vExpert Daily to kick the day off. Before we get into a bunch of these other sessions, I've got some great friends up here to talk through things that have happened, what they think of the show so far, and different things. So as always, we'll start with some introductions. Again, I'm Mike Letschin, Field CTO for Nexenta. And if you don't know how to find me by now, look at the last 10 years of videos of me doing this. And I'm pretty sure it's on every single one. So you've been on probably almost 10, or you've hosted a couple times before when I can make it. So I feel like you've probably been on at least the last 6 or 7 on it along the way.
I think I've done
every year at least.
Help host, every year that we've done this. My name is Shane Williford. I'm a senior systems engineer for North Kansas City School District in Kansas City. That's pretty much it. Generalist and everything. vExpert for 8 years. Vanguard, being Vanguard this year.
You didn't get the 8-star one yet?
No.
Apparently there's an 8-star little thing.
They got it. Eric Siebert handed those out. Those are 10-star.
So that's the 9-star.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't do the first year.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I actually applied. I think it I didn't fill out the form.
You're forced in.
It was a little confusing in the beginning, but anyway, that's who I am. Great to be here.
I'm Richard Kenyon. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I work at M&T Bank as a cloud infrastructure engineer, and I'm also the vMug leader as well as first-year vExpert.
You don't get 10 stars.
No.
My name is Wouter Kursten. I work for AnyLink in the Netherlands as a consultant.
Anyone who can repeat his name wins.
Some have tried already, so they're doing pretty good. No, I work for AnyLink in the Netherlands as a consultant. I'm a 3rd-year vExpert and also EC champion.
So I think you've been on all 3 years. You've been vExpert. I think I've had.
No, the first year wasn't.
First year now, okay.
No,
so
last year was my first.
Last year, okay. So sometimes we get some repeat guys. It's fun. You get to meet some different people. So let's start with, obviously yesterday we talked about kind of what people expected of the show. Now we've got a day under our belt, 2 keynotes in, and a few events along the way last night. There were a couple that people decided they should make the trek in Vegas to get to. So before we get into events though, let's talk Solutions Exchange. We'll start with that. Anything that you guys saw walking through that somebody should make sure they stop by and see? A booth that was specifically was impressive, or a new vendor or something little? Have you guys had a chance?
I did just a brief little session, I guess, from Wheeler?
Oh, I was going to say them too.
I think it's Wheeler.
Yeah, you stole my person.
Well, hey, they're, what is it they?
Network inspection at the VM layer, not the app layer, on premises stuff, and then for the cloud agent based.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to bring them up. They don't have a booth, but they are doing events.
Another big one.
Another vendor I'm going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
They don't have a booth, but I kind of recommend checking out. I think they got a decent product. Is Galileo. They do infrastructure, data, and capacity management and analytics, and they're cloud-based. So
I looked at them like 2 weeks ago, right before I came out here.
Okay.
They came up for something.
So you know what I'm talking. I just did a brief earlier this morning. They are having I think a cabana out in the pool area in the Mandalay Bay.
Good luck getting into that one.
Yeah, Kelly Knuckles and Galileo's their Twitter account. So maybe you can tweet out to them and see if they have space available. I'm sure they probably have 1 or 2 if you're interested. But it looked like a decent solution.
You going back to Wheeler?
I'm going back to Wheeler. They were cool. I walked by them. I went, this map looks interesting. How do they generate it? And they went into this whole thing about network inspection from the VM layer, looking at the distributed switch, and just then you can see what app traffic it is and like pie grids. It was visually appealing very quickly and very in depth. And I'm like, you got to go check this out. So I've got their business card. I'm going to be calling them when I get back to the office.
So I think it's interesting how long it can take for some of these companies. You often hear about these companies that just rise really quick, and all of a sudden everybody knows who they are. Willa sponsored VM Underground last year. Oh. They were here last year. So they've been around a little while,
Yeah.
at least a couple years now. So they haven't exploded like I think we see a lot of them. So it's
Look out for
interesting.
them
That's
this
the
year,
one you're
though.
like, oh, it's a new one. We'll go see it. And I was like, I already knew who they were. How about you?
We also EG Innovations. The way they monitor stuff really show all the layers. I'm a UC guy for Horizon View, the connection server. You see all the layers in there that are impacting things. So you really stack OS, disk OS, and everything on top.
So
I
interesting.
like
So
that.
monitoring across the board.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's another
I mean, it's
one.
always visual, so it's fun to see.
Oh, yeah.
It looks a lot better in a booth. You walk by and you're like, oh, that's a storage array. Or here's a big, pretty picture.
That's what catches my attention. Maxtra, they're kind of they're a vSAN kind of competitor, but they're
Maxta's the SDS version.
They've been
of
around
HDR.
a little bit more mature. So I was talking with them yesterday. Saw a little brief prezo at one of their little stations. So kind of recommend checking them out as well.
Okay, so now I probably already know the answer. Did y'all make any sessions yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know the answer then. It's going to go the other way on that one.
Only one, but
Yeah, one.
yep.
And the EUC keynote and EUC champions panel.
Yeah.
That was the two.
So far, you're all both one up on me. So,
Yeah. I had to work yesterday.
was it a good session?
I missed my session.
I can't remember because I'm so tired from the hackathon.
Yeah, the hackathon
Okay.
was great.
Yeah, the hackathon was awesome.
Okay, so let's jump into that then.
Yeah.
So that was how you spent your night last night.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for people who aren't here or ones that weren't even aware of it, give the crowd kind of a summary of what the hackathon, what's it all about? Because a lot of these people out here are like, I'm not a coder, I can't go to a hackathon.
I can read code, I can script code, but I was working with Luke Denkins and Kyle Ruddy. So they're like way up here, and I'm just going, here's a beer, man. What do you need me to do? It's pretty much what it is. You didn't need any coding experience whatsoever to come hang out with a group of people, transfer knowledge back and forth, and be able to just end up building something within a few hour time span, or jump onto a project that was already in progress that they needed help with different pieces. And it ended up being really, really great, and I learned a bunch of different stuff that I can actually take back to life outside of VMworld, that I'm really happy I did it.
So
Was there a
what kind
time
of
limit?
projects?
There was everything.
that's a good question,
There
Jim.
Was there a time limit? Did it like start?
started
did it end?
At 7:30 about, but they had Hacker Earth this year, and if you wanted with your team and could get in contact with them, that was my issue, you could start a month earlier already. You could have done some pre-work,
Oh,
so only having to finish it up yesterday.
Yeah, there was one or two teams
That didn't work out too good.
Yeah, I jumped on.
seems weird for a hackathon too. Like to me, hackathon you start and end in the time frame.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a little
kind of
different,
It's
but
kind of the whole thing of a
Yeah.
hackathon, right?
yeah.
If it's a month-long hackathon, that's different.
Yeah, some of the stuff that was there, a bunch of guys did some drone scraping. They actually have a actual business that they run a fleet of 500 drones, and they were paying a client many thousands of dollars to do the thing that they put together in the hackathon to replace that, service, and now they can do it themselves. That was one of the cool things that I thought. I'm like, wow, you guys just replaced the whole billing procedure with something you put together at a hackathon. And they said it worked great.
Awesome.
I like the one with the Reddit plugin that corrects all the wrong spelled VMwares and vSpheres.
Some guy wrote a Reddit bot that went through and did the proper VMware branding and then spammed users in the VMware thread that said, you spelled VMware wrong. It's big V, big M, little w, ARE, and anytime anybody spelled it wrong, he'd spam them with, you spelled this wrong. Here's the VMware branding guide, and he's got 18 karma live already.
If he had,
It was
yeah,
mid-19.
Mid 19, minus 19 karma.
he could have also added in to make it even worse and done the on-premise versus on-premises.
Oh, he did that one. He had vSAN in
Could
there.
have added that
he
and
had
really
vSAN
just messing
and
people
vSphere
up
in there.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been a good option.
And then
So,
the winners ended up actually putting in a HTML5 plugin for the vSphere client that allowed you to drop Power CLI code directly into the browser and run it as an actual plugin. And they ended up, winning, and everybody's like, wow, that's incredibly useful and incredibly clean.
And incredibly dangerous.
Kyle didn't think so.
Like, I see that as a great way to ruin an environment.
Yes, you can do it outside though too.
What'd you end up? You didn't go to the hackathon.
No, I didn't. No, I pooped out. I went back to I was in my room by 8:30. I didn't really do much.
Wow.
I hung
This
out.
morning?
I hung out. No, last night. I hung out for a little while.
You do know we're in Las Vegas, right?
I do, but I've been here enough. I've been to the conference enough. Seen it, done it. I'm good. Tonight will be different.
Does anyone actually believe that he was in bed by 8:30?
I didn't
Anyone
say
at
I
all?
was in
Raise your hand
bed.
if you
I was
believe
in my
him.
room.
Anyone who believes him, raise your hand.
One person
How
believes
would
it.
you
One
know?
person.
He's got my back. But
He
tonight
always
is,
has that look on his face. It's not because he's well rested.
tonight is the Beam party and the vExpert party, which I'm very looking forward to the vExpert party.
Yep.
Some food, pinball museum. Should be a fun time. Tonight I won't be in my room at 8:30.
So what time did hackathon end?
Actually, we ended early. We ended at like 11:30.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, by the time we got through the
The
2
bar
minute
closed at 11.
presentations. Oh, yeah.
So what happened between then and 4 in the morning?
I don't remember.
I dove into my bed.
Yeah, I think I ended up in bed somehow.
This
Not
is the
real sure
worst
how.
conversation about what to do at night in Vegas
Yeah.
I've ever heard in my entire
Yeah.
life.
I know there was a vSAN party on top of Mandalay Bay, but I didn't find that out till this morning.
Yeah, it was the foundation room.
Yep.
It was nice.
But
It's a good venue.
I will be up late tonight because I'm very much looking forward to the Pinball Museum for the vExpert thing.
I heard good stuff about the Rubik party yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought we would end up talking about Rubric or Cohesity or
It was either Snoop
Certo
Dogg or Run DMC.
any of the
But we
other
did the
parties,
nerdy
but
thing, right?
Shane
But we
decided
did the
he didn't
nerdy
want to
thing
contribute
anyways.
to the conversation and go to sleep at 8:30.
Yeah. Well, ish.
Did anybody
It
else
was
go
this
to
morning.
those 2 parties?
Did you guys, who went to Rubric or did you go to Cohesity? How was Cohesity? It was a good show. That's all you got to say? They had,
He doesn't remember the rest.
they had Snoop Dogg and all you had to say was it was a good show? No, you saying off the hook just doesn't sound right.
No.
No.
We'll go back to it was a good show. Okay, so let's get off of last night because you guys suck at that conversation. So,
Yeah, sorry we're nerds.
so now we've got, we had another keynote today, a little bit different keynote than yesterday's where we get some announcements. So today we get some more inspirational keynote on it.
Yeah. That's
I
what
know
we
you
can
said
call
you were
it.
into meetings, so you didn't get to watch it.
Yeah,
So
I was
far
on
you
brief.
can't contribute to last night and you can't contribute to the keynote.
We'll
Why are
talk
you
about
here?
moving forward, maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
What do you guys think about them having a real inspirational type keynote on it?
It was
But is it
different.
worthwhile to you? Do you find value in that?
It was different. Without getting political,
I'm trying to stay very away from the political. That's why I said you have
I think
value.
everybody's
That's all I
trying to
asked.
stay away from that. I couldn't figure out what technological benefit it brought to the conference. You know, this is one of the larger ones in the world. It's got every type of business analyst and, you know, operator and everybody in between here. And while I appreciate the message and I appreciate what she has done for world peace and things like that and winning the Peace Prize and all of that stuff, it's great. But where's the connect to VMware and where's the connect to technology is just the piece I think everybody was kind of questioning about. I've heard a lot of people say the same thing. Great, awesome. Why here?
Yep.
That was the running theme from what I've heard from a few people.
And I tried to watch it I was hoping watching it we would get that.
Yep.
I mean, maybe it was in the video that we had no sound for in the beginning.
Could be.
It could have been in that.
We
but-
could have
Yeah.
missed that message. That is
Yep.
very true.
Do you think? I think I got maybe an idea about that because Pat talked a little bit about Mercy ships yesterday. Now he brought technology into it and how they're, you know, VMware,
Helping the
Dell
world.
Technologies are providing the infrastructure for that to happen. But he also had mentioned that we are called to do more. So it's not about technology, it's about humanity. And we're all in humanity together to go above and beyond our roles at project management or business analyst or whatever to do that. She's doing what she's doing, the speaker this morning. Pat did something earlier in the year. I don't know if anybody follows him on Twitter, but he did something overseas that was not VMware related. It's just going above and beyond what we normally do just to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
So is your thought then, so while the biggest difference most of us normally think we can make is by using our talents, our skill sets we have, but in all reality, most people here are rather fortunate.
Yeah.
That is very true.
And that it's kind of that push of use that good fortune, not just on technology, but to
Absolutely.
just as a kind of a gentle reminder.
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a good connection.
Best I got.
But the best you got.
The worst part is we have to look for the connection. It should be obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, say it. Just come out and say it. This is why we're doing this.
Yeah, that would be great. You know, the Mercy flight thing, you know, or the
Tell me
Mercy
why.
ship,
Right.
that was really cool. I had no idea about any of that whatsoever.
I
And
didn't
went,
either.
well, I found a new charity I'm donating to.
Right.
Like, easy, done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a good piece by Pat.
So moving past the keynote then, because we really don't have much else on that one, I don't think. I enjoyed her story about when she found out she won the Nobel Peace Prize though.
Yeah.
That she wasn't in trouble.
Yeah.
That relates to every one of us.
Yep.
And if it doesn't, we're not friends.
And the kids question too that they asked about, what's your advice to kids who define themselves by how they continually are wrong or they might not be, you know, supported wise? How many people in tech, you know, have the imposter syndrome? Me, definitely. Like, I'm validated sometimes by my mistakes, and that question was like, well, that was either a very good marketing or very good connection to something that didn't really need to be said, but kind of came through loud and clear to me. It was, don't be defined by your mistakes. You have support systems. You have everything that can be set up and run, and a 12-year-old asked that question. So.
Did you find it interesting that the kid that asked the question was from the School for International Studies? Because I was like,
I'll let you run
was
with that.
not staged at all.
No.
It was still an interesting question.
It was an interesting question.
Yes.
Proper arranged
And
question.
clearly well
Yes.
rehearsed.
Yes. As this isn't.
Yeah.
No.
That's not this at all. So looking at now into the rest of the day, do you have any sessions you're going to today already set? Any plans to go see anything specific throughout the rest of the day?
Absolutely. I'm going to see Ravi's Extreme vCenter Deep Dive Performance. He does one presentation a year, and if you want to see a ridiculous presentation by the principal VMware engineer, go see Ravi at 5 o'clock. He does one every year, and I've done it every year I've been at VMworld, and I've done all his YouTube videos. It's amazing what they're squeezing out of the back end in vCenter. It's kind of cool to watch the data and how it travels and all of these different things that make the vCenter interface so snappy, and it's just an amazing presentation if you're a nerd. I love it.
I'm curious how much that will change with the new UI, with the HTML5, and how much you'll see difference on that with the president, because he's been doing it for a bit.
Yeah, I think he's been doing it 10 years at this point.
I don't know. I got performance troubleshooting and root cause analysis, and Mac and Linux users for Power CLI. I think Luke.
Yeah, Luke and Alan
Mac
are
and
doing
Linux users for Power CLI.
Yeah, don't despair, Power CLI. So
I'm glad that's not a VMT
Yeah,
Tech
because-
Talk with vBrownBag.
right? Don't say that 10 times.
probably code session.
Luke Deckins and Alan Renault for doing that.
That could be a really good session. It'd be an interesting
My
session.
organization's Mac organization, so it'd be good to see what they got for that tool for Mac users. So, and it's.
Do you have are your users using Power CLI now?
A few of us, yes. Yeah. Only a few of us use it. So.
How about you? What you got
I'm
tap?
doing a code power session presenting this afternoon at 1 about the Horizon View APIs, deep dive into
You're presenting at one.
Yep.
Oh, congrats.
People.
And then I'm hoping to have my tech ready to do at the hackerspace to do the IoT thing, workshop. And then Brian Madden is doing some kind of brief forum this afternoon. Brief forum-like thingy, and going there, and then a vExpert party, of course.
Oh, yes.
Looking forward to that.
Yep.
So there's obviously only a small group that is going to the vExpert party.
It was pretty big this year. I heard a couple of hundred.
When there's 20,000 people here, it's a small group.
Well, I
Then it's
think
a
the
small
vExpert count is 1,700 out of all of VMware's, software users, and then of that group, however many can make it here, and then of that group, how many can actually go to the party.
Yeah, so it's a reasonably small group.
Yep.
Right.
So I know, like I said, Veeam's tonight.
Correct.
Yep.
I think High Trust has something tonight.
7 p.m.
I think High Trust is like baseball theme party is tonight.
Oh, right. Right. Yes.
Baseball.
Your issue wasn't with High Trust, it was with baseball?
It was with baseball. Just it's boring to me. It's like I just don't like baseball. I don't know
I'm
why.
With him.
I don't know why.
College football is better.
So far, they suck at nights and they're un-American.
Well, we're going to have some vSoccer after the vExpert party with a couple of guys. So we're going at 10 p.m. We're going to the Longevity Sports Center and going to play soccer. So that's going to be interesting.
At 10 p.m.
At 10 p.m. we're going to
Post-party.
sport.
After a
Yes.
few drinks, a bunch of geeks going to play a sport.
You might
Yes.
want to
That
have
sounds
him
like
on
that will
tomorrow.
come out gloriously. I'm about to buy some stock in crutches. I did see that came up. People were very excited about people getting together to do something outside. I mean, I think that's part of it too.
That's the community.
And it's always one of the questions I ask when we're up here is, now that we kind of know what you guys have found of interesting, what is the thing that people should be looking at doing over the next day, the next 2 days, while we're still here for a couple more days, that are here? Or I think even more importantly, people that are watching it on the stream, what can they do to try to get more involved, even if they can't get here? What's your guys' thoughts?
Like from afar, even if like they're watching, or are you talking about people, users at the conference?
You can answer both.
Okay, well, I mean,
You haven't given me many answers today, so
I
I'll take two.
Get involved with community. That's the very first thing I recommend. Community, network. Once you start to find those connections, you can find your own niches and group gatherings that you can come up with. I put together for 7 or 8 years vBreakfast, because I'm a foodie guy, you know. But so that was good. But anything. I mean, we have vBeards. Beards.
Beers, vBeards.
vBeers, you know, I mean,
You
just
know,
all
vMugs,
these niche groups that people connect, and like they have likenesses within each other, and then they make a V whatever group gathering once we get together for these conferences. So that's good.
If you're here with your company, you don't necessarily you see those people every day.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to not be spending every waking hour with the people you came here with at your company.
And then, you know, find something specific that you're interested in with your organization or your interests, and go to those booths and learn more about that.
And then the opposite of that, if you have the time to do so, go to something that is your weaker skill set, or go to something that just is not your day-to-day, not your business meetings, not your hobby. Go, if you're an end-user computer, go take a look at storage. If you're a storage guy, go take a look at networking. If you're a networking guy, go take a look at containers. Just go do something that's on like the opposite side of the spectrum.
This is the easy chance to learn something new.
Yep.
Outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Or area of expertise. Right.
So the hang space is always a popular space to be in, and people wandering around, you're meeting people. It's a kind of that good networking space. What do you think about the setup this year?
Very nice.
I like it. Blogging tables are small this year.
Yeah, they're low.
They could use a lot more space over there, because there's more people who aren't bloggers that come up to say hi to the bloggers, and there's no room.
Shane, I think you will have your knees above the table, right?
What?
If you sit down, they're really low.
Maybe they're really low.
Yeah. But other than that, it's been great. The vMug lounge is twice the size it was the last few years, I've been told. And the last time that I was here, it's like 4 times the size. So that's great,
And then we've got the Cloud City over here.
Yep.
On it that I haven't quite figured out yet, to be honest. I haven't really spent any time there either.
Yep.
Have you guys done any of the challenge stuff? The
Gamification?
other than getting a backpack. Do this.
I didn't even get that.
Yeah, I can't even figure it out. They're just like, fill out all these surveys. I'm like, so the thing I normally do for all the sessions I no longer go to because I'm networking?
The backpack's easy.
Yeah, the
Walk
backpack.
all the way to the end and scan your thing.
Yep.
Exactly.
The rest is, you have to go to all the booths. You have to get to 7 sessions. I've only got 3 scheduled or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to make that.
And I've been working.
Maybe
so I
that's
haven't
why
been
they're
able to do
doing it
anything.
though.
Yeah,
Is
right.
they do actually try to put on sessions.
Yeah.
So I thought, speaking of the backpacks, did you guys get a chance to look at the backpack at least?
Oh, yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
What do you think of the USB connection? Not see this?
I did not.
Yeah,
There's a
I'll
USB
use
plug
the
on the
Kinect.
side
It
and the
took me a
cable on the
second to
inside.
figure it out.
So you can put your battery on the inside of the bag and then plug in the out. You don't have to.
You don't have to carry the battery around.
So apparently you don't have to just run your USB cable through the headphone jack like that we've been doing for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Because there's
very
no more
nice.
headphone jacks.
There's one of those on the other side.
Oh, there is?
There's a headphone hole on the
I
other
did
side.
not see that.
Yeah, but the phones are losing the headphone jacks anyway.
That's what I
you
meant,
won't
yeah.
Yeah. I have my AirPods. I never plug anything in anyway anymore.
Yep.
So I think we're going to wrap up here in just a minute or so. Any advice for the people you got to what to do if you're here? What about the people streaming? What should they do?
What should they do?
Yeah.
I don't
They can't get here. Work hasn't sent them here.
Check
They're
out
not
the VMware
self-funding it.
blogs.
Oh, use one of those.
What would you say for them to do that would be great for them to do after VMware or during?
The blogs, the blog
Yeah,
posts.
blog. Just be active. Be active. Be passionate about what you do, and share it with the community.
Yeah, I totally agree on that.
Yeah.
These guys are not
We're
great.
so easy today.
Normally this is so easy to get people to talk, and now they're up here. You went to sleep at 8:30.
Yeah, but
They at least had a reason to be tired.
tomorrow will be probably
I'm
better. But
still a bit jet lagged.
Yeah, we're
Okay, well, that's okay. We had fun. So thank you guys again for coming. We're going to wrap up today's vExpert Daily. We'll be back tomorrow with some different guys. Thank God. So we'll have a little more tomorrow. We'll do this for one more day. I know we got a lot more sessions lined up for the rest of the day in this space. Make sure if you can get by here, come see some of these other great sessions. If you're streaming it, pay attention to them. They'll all be on the YouTube channel for vBrownBag as well. But there's some great little short sessions, even if you can't make it to an hour-long one, that you probably don't want to miss. So thank you guys all for coming, and have a great rest of the day.